Hey everyone, welcome to part one of Windows 10 Upgrade Without Tears tutorial series. In this video, we're going to be showing you how to set up a simple backup system so that if anything goes wrong with your upgrade, it is a very trivial process to restore your system back to square one. Now, this is an unlikely situation that something catastrophic will occur during the upgrade, but it happens from time to time, and it's always good to have backups. Now, if you're watching this video, I gather you must be still on either Windows 7 or Windows 8, and are sort of just on the fence on whether you want to upgrade or not. I have to say, personally, I have found the Windows 10 upgrade to be really great. It's definitely a lot quicker. It has quite a few new features that are great for productivity, and security and support is going to be a lot better going forward as well. So it is a recommended upgrade, and if you're still on 7 or 8 and your system supports it and it works okay for your environment, then by all means go ahead. If your computer is supporting some sort of legacy software or some sort of legacy hardware, maybe it might not be a great idea, but you can always upgrade, and then if it doesn't work, you can roll back. It's not a big deal. It's very straightforward to do that if not everything works perfectly. And of course, if there are things that aren't quite right, you can always Google certain issues and find solutions, or talk to me and I'll help you out. Now, firstly, a disclaimer, of course, I'm not responsible for what happens to your system. If you manage to brick it, it is not my fault. And if it is in a very sensitive or mission critical environment, get a professional to do it. So don't sue me, please. Now, what you're going to need is the internet, a program called Macrum Reflect, which I have pre-installed on this machine. You'll need some sort of external or internal storage, or even network storage, to back up your computer. Basically just another drive that isn't your main system drive. And you'll need either a USB flash drive or a blank CD or DVD to set up the recovery media. So first things first, install Reflect if you haven't done so already. If you're not sure if it's on your computer already, you can just search Reflect, and if it comes up, that's great. Otherwise, you can always jump online and just do a web search for Reflect, and it should come up straight away, and you can download it in just a matter of seconds. So that's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go through that. Just click that download button, run the file once it has finished, and that should be it. Now, I'm not going to do that because I've already done it. So let's go into Reflect and have a look. So here you'll see that Reflect is a program which creates system images. So what it does is when you go to create a backup, you have the option to image a particular disk. And here we've got two drives in the system. This one here is our Windows 7 drive, and this one's our backup drive. So we're going to image this Windows 7 drive. Now it's going to ask us where we want to put it. Click on this to select a location, and here we have the 500 gig external drive, and we've got a folder already. So let's click OK, and pretty much that's it. So there is one other extra option. This is, I suppose, optional. I do recommend doing this, especially if you're sort of a little suspicious that your computer may not be 100%, if it's running really slow or being a bit, intermittent in terms of performance and reliability. I would recommend doing a verification just to make sure that whatever you back up can actually be restored properly. Because if your drive is failing, for example, it's going to crash if you try to do the upgrade, and a verification will tell you that ahead of time. You just click Finish. You don't need to save a definition file. Just run the backup, and that'll be it. Now, I'm not going to watch this happen. It's a bit like watching grass grow, so I'm just going to cancel this in a second. And then I will show you how to create recovery media. So cancel that. And we're going to go to Other Tasks, and we're going to create rescue media. So this is just a little utility within Reflect which will allow you to create either a bootable CD, DVD, or USB stick, which can allow you to restore your backup if Windows doesn't start up anymore. So we'll just click Next, skip through this. It may ask you to download something. Just say yes if it asks for that. And here we have an option to either put it on burn it to CD or DVD. And if you have one in your drive, you can have one in your computer, you can do that there. Or if you've got a USB stick, you can write to that. Just keep in mind that it will overwrite anything on that USB stick, so don't leave important files on it or anything. And you just click finish, and then that's it. I'm not going to do that because, again, I've done that ahead of time. It's pretty straightforward. But what I'm going to do now is how to get into the recovery boot system if things go wrong. So I'm going to restart this computer right now. I'm going to show you how to get into it. Now, you may have noticed on some computers that you'll see a few options when you first start. Hang on a second, let's skip through this because I just missed it. You have to be quick. You have to be really quick, actually, especially on some of the newer machines, as it pretty much skips through it. But if you were really observant there, it said press F12 for boot menu. So I'm going to try that again. This same thing will come up when you first start your computer, of course. So normally speaking, if I'm trying to get into a recovery USB or into a recovery CD or DVD that I have, I just start mashing the button that it is for that given computer. And most computers will be either F8, F12, F11 or escape. And on this machine, you can see that it is F12 to select boot device. So I'm going to press F12. And it has come up with this temporary boot device selection. Now, it may not look identical on your computer, but here you can see that we have some boot devices, and you can see that some are listed there. Now, if there's USB or CD there, and you're using whichever device, pick that one. So I've actually got a CD in this machine, so I'm going to hit C, and that's going to boot my recovery system if I press a button. And here we go. So it is just a reflect, really. It's just a very simple environment where you can restore your backup. So now if I go into, here, it's already brought up my backup, which I made ahead of time. And all I have to do is click restore. And then this is the source. And I just click copy. And then go next and click finish. And that will restore my backup. That's pretty much all there is to it. It'll just override everything and it'll put you back to how it was. Like I said, this is a worst case scenario, getting you out of trouble sort of thing. So I'm just going to reboot into Windows again now. And all we need to do now is just run that Windows 10 upgrade, and it should do everything for you. Now, the process usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the speed of your computer. If it takes an extremely long time, let's say over 3 hours, that probably means that something didn't go quite right, and you may need to use your backup. Reboot the computer if that happens. Sometimes it comes good, but that is, again, a very rare situation. 99% of the upgrades I've seen go perfectly well without any issue. And to upgrade, I'm sure you've seen the pop-ups, but here it is, get Windows 10. Now this one I can't upgrade through the normal process because it's a particular machine that can't do it, but yours will just say, yes, let's upgrade now, and that's pretty much it. All right, that's all for now. Wait for part 2 for some more info on how to tweak Windows 10 once you do have it up and running. And once you've got that, have a look at that video, and you'll be able to get everything running really nice. That's all for now. Thank you, and see you in the next one.